A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Survival of No Limits. And so, I'm going to go on ahead and, bring up the phone again, because now it is time to talk a little bit about, microbursts. Okay, episode number 67 is clearly what's at stake, so let's get into it. Microbursts are, think of it like the tornado, except it's the complete opposite. Instead of sucking things from the ground, it basically goes downwards. Columns of air that happen to shoot downwards. Whether you call them microbursts, downdrafts, or basically localized columns of spiraling air that happen to sink downwards rather than suck upwards like tornadoes, then there's always the good livelihood that, at some point in time, you might be able to find something like this. But as a matter of fact, just like tornadoes, microbursts have proven to be very dangerous. Most of the time, they can actually prove to be life-threatening. Because unlike tornadoes, though, they can shoot air downwards and cause damage just like that. Rather than sucking things up and pulling them up into the air, spiraling out of control, you got columns of air that can apparently come down onto you, much like a pile driver that comes all the way from the clouds. So of course, this is in fact the exact opposite of what the tornado is. But of course, let's not forget that the properties on how tornadoes and microbursts are both made in the first place, they both happen to take place inside storms. Yeah, that's right. And of course, just like with tornadoes, actually, microbursts have been known to be created from thunderstorms, from concentrated areas of temperature changes and all that, as well as the kind of winds that are generated. So of course, we noticed a lot of similarities right off of the bat between a microburst and a tornado, so they almost are identical, but the one main difference is that the tornado happens to suck things from the ground, and microbursts are known to shoot things down towards the ground. So you could probably only imagine, if one of each were to happen at the same exact time in the same exact place, then you have something that sucks things up, and then you have something that thrusts them back down to the ground, from whence they came. So I don't even know at this point. But it is still worth noting, though, that microbursts are not necessarily as common as tornadoes. Not even when you get down towards the tornado alley, which of course is the centermost area of America as a whole. From Dakota to Texas, from Wisconsin to Louisiana, from Nebraska and Kansas to Missouri, all the way around towards, Arkansas and all that good stuff. So that's a pretty, worthy way of saying that a microburst is not really something that's worth not noting, because they are in fact dangerous. Survivability within those is certainly not like with tornadoes, where you'd have to find a basement in order to avoid getting sucked up, or to avoid getting yourself hit by anything that could potentially be picked up by a tornado and then carried off by the devastating winds. With a microburst, it could probably be the exact opposite. Instead of things getting sucked up, like a house for example, the house would instead be crushed down by the force of the winds that are coming down at potentially dangerous speeds. Just like with tornadoes, that also have dangerous speeds. But for the most part, it would still be a good piece of advice to have a good shelter and to have some time for yourself to hopefully not get hurt by something like this. But no matter the case, microbursts are still pretty worthy to note by the NOAA and also the National Weather Service, as there have been a lot of events relating to this that have happened throughout history, and they may continue to take place as time goes on and on and on until the universe finally fades away and time is at its end. So that's just pretty much what that is, and well, that's going to be it for today. But I'm going to have some other subjects ready, and I'm also going to at least provide for some other unique pieces of info relating to survival and all that. So if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.